Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Batel from Batel's Kitchen, and today I am so excited to be back with a new soup recipe for you guys. And for those of you who already know, I actually eat soups all year round, especially as a person who eats mainly plant-based. This soup is full of protein, so delicious, super quick to prepare, and it can literally make a beautiful dinner for the whole family. My kids are actually obsessed with it. All the measurements are going to be in the description box below or on my website, batelskitchen.com. Okay guys, let's get started. We're going to start by soaking our red lentils in water. We're going to take a bowl of water and let it sit between 4 to 8 hours. If you don't have time, you can cook them directly, but I prefer soaking them. Moving on to our vegetables, we're going to start by peeling all our vegetables, and we're going to begin with our carrot, followed by our potatoes, and eventually chopping a bunch of onions. These basic vegetables are going to give us so much flavor to our soup. I'm also going to be using some celery. Usually I use much more than that, including the leaves, but that's what I had in the fridge that day. So we're just gonna dice it into small cubes. We're also gonna cut our potatoes into medium small chunks, and we're gonna continue with our carrot. I like to cut it into equal size, just like the potatoes. We're also gonna use some squash and zucchini. You can feel free to add whichever vegetables you prefer, but these are the vegetables that I like to use for this soup. We're going to start by heating our pot with some olive oil, and slowly we're going to start to add all our vegetables except the potatoes. We're going to add them a little bit later. We're going to season just a bit with salt and pepper to help the onions sweat. We're also going to peel and chop some fresh garlic because lentils and garlic are just match made in heaven. And of course we're going to use fresh herbs, and my favorite one is cilantro, so we're going to chop that as well. We're going to give all these vegetables a mix, stirring occasionally to make sure they don't burn. However, we're going to wait for them to be translucent. We're going to start to add our seasonings directly into the heating pot, and we're going to begin by adding some turmeric, followed by cumin, then some curry powder, and some ginger as well. You can use fresh or dry. We're going to stir that up in order to get everything really fragrant. We want to mix it for about 30 seconds or so. In the meantime, we're going to wash and rinse our red lentils. You can see that they have soaked so much of the water. They're so plumped and rich in moisture, which means that they're going to cook even faster, and the absorption of all the vitamins and minerals that they have is going to be much more beneficial. We're going to add a few more seasonings, a dash more of curry powder and nutritional yeast as well. We're going to add our lentils, and we're going to give it a final mix. And we just want to get everything super coated and fragrant with the rest of the spices that we have. At this time, we are ready to add our potatoes and our fresh herbs. And finally, all we have to do is add our liquids. I'm using water, but if you want to add more flavor, you can use veggie broth or whatever liquid you prefer. But even water is going to be amazing. We're going to season it to taste with salt and pepper. I'm using pink Himalayan salt, a little bit more water, and of course I'm using my pressure cooker. It's going to cook the soup so much quicker, and the consistency is just unbeatable. We're going to put a timer for 25 minutes, and in the meantime we're ready to make our croutons. So for our croutons, we're going to take a challah. This is my homemade eggless challah, and we're just going to cut it into half. This is what my kids are waiting for when we have leftover challah after Shabbat. We're just gonna run our knife into the challah, and you can really cut it to whichever shapes you prefer. If you would like to rip it with your hands, that is fine too. But I'm cutting it into medium small pieces because we really cannot get enough. These croutons are so addictive, so I want to have them a little bit on the smaller side so I get more of these challah. Once we have everything chopped, we're ready to transfer our challah cubes into a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Our oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and at this point it is so easy. We're just going to take olive oil and we're going to drizzle it on top of our bread. We're going to take salt and pepper to taste, and I'm being generous with the spices over here. I want everything to be super flavorful. We're also going to take some garlic powder. If you want to be fancy, you can add fresh garlic, minced, but it will have a tendency to dry, so I'm just using our powdered dry garlic. I also love adding herbs, so I'm using dry rosemary, but feel free to use dry thyme or dry dill or the combination of a few of them, but rosemary is definitely my favorite one. We're going to stick it in the oven for about 10 minutes. We're going to put a timer to check on it. And after 10 minutes, we have the most beautiful, gorgeous and addictive homemade challah croutons. These are beyond you can imagine. They're so delicious. They're crunchy. They're super flavorful. And they're absolutely addictive. So we're just going to pile them into a bowl and we're going to check on our soup. Our pressure cooker has released all its steam and moisture, and now we're ready to check our soup. The soup is not too runny and not too thick at the same time, although while you let it sit, it will thicken up. So we're just gonna add it to our bowls, and I have some fresh lemon on the side, I have some fresh bread, and my homemade croutons. Whichever way you prefer to eat this soup, it will be absolutely delicious, and I love garnishing it with some fresh cilantro and of course our homemade challah croutons. This meal is ready. I love serving it for dinner. It is very rich in protein, low in carb, and so flavorful. The flavors are literally melt in your mouth and you feel so nourished and cozy at the same time. The croutons really complement every bite, taking it to the next level, giving it another dimension of flavor and texture at the same time. This soup has so many health benefits of vitamins, minerals, and nourishing things for the body and soul and our cells. I hope you're gonna give it a try. Thanks for watching.
That's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're going to give this soup a try. If you did, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. And if you need some more help with eating more plant-based, check out my cookbook, Eggless Possibilities, where you can find so many meals that the whole family can enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.